Hey everyone, welcome to today's Cornerstone Connection Daily Devotional. My name is Nate Carter, and today will be my last daily devotional with you. And I wanted to use this time to share a little acronym that's been helpful for me as I have my daily time with the Lord. I don't always do it this way, but a lot of times when I'm a little bit stuck in trying to figure out how to spend some time with the Lord in the morning, I use this little acronym to help me. I'm sorry, it does not alliterate. I couldn't find a way to make it alliterate, but it is simple, and it's just this: read, write, pray, and remember. Read, write, pray, and remember. I set up the camera so that you could see the first word right over my shoulder: read. And so today we're going to open up John 4, and I'm going to walk you through how I might use this acronym to help me connect with the Lord during my personal quiet times. So John 4 is so awesome. This is the one that Jesus encounters the woman at the well, and he ends up talking about worship in spirit and truth, which is actually what we built into our mission statement for the Cornerstone Worship Ministry. So love that this is the passage that is on my final Cornerstone connection with you. But actually, we're going to not talk about that part, but just what happens right before it in verse 6. It says, Jesus, tired from the long walk, sat wearily beside the well about noontime. Soon a Samaritan woman came to draw water, and Jesus said to her, "Please give me a drink." He was alone at the time because his disciples had gone into the village to buy some food. The woman was surprised, for Jews refused to have anything to do with Samaritans. And so right there, we begin by reading. And as we read, don't read quickly, but read slowly, pause and reflect on what you're reading. Remind yourself that this is God's word. This is God speaking. And he has a message that he wants to share with you. And sometimes it'll be the literal message from the text, and sometimes it'll be something the Spirit places on your heart as you read from the text. So ordinarily, I would maybe read more than that, but you also don't have to. Sometimes there have been times I've opened my Bible for the daily reading and the first 2 verses stuck out to me and I didn't go any further. And I'd read that and I'd ponder, what does the Lord have to say to me? So my next step is then I would go from read to write. And I've got a journal. I've used different kinds of journals, sometimes handwritten, sometimes typed. And I just reflect on what I've just written and also whatever else is going on in my mind. And so I might write in that journal, wow, Jesus, it's really incredible that you would break so many traditions and customs of your time and sit next to, first of all, sit next to a woman and start a conversation. That wouldn't be something that you would have done, that other people would have done in your time. And what were you trying to say? And wow, Jesus, to sit down next to a Samaritan when Samaritans and Jews were sworn enemies from each other. And then I would just maybe go from there and reflect on, who do I see as some of my enemies? And what would it look like for me to sit down and start a conversation with someone that was from a different mindset or different political persuasion, different religion than mine? What would it look like to just start a conversation? And I just journal for, not necessarily a long time, but sometimes maybe it would be. And so I write. So I've read, I've written, and now I pray. And so I don't want to only journal usually. I want to stop and just talk directly to God. And so I'll pray, and I might say, God, help me to open my eyes to those around me. Help me not to judge others that are different than me. Help me not to keep myself from interacting with people that may disagree with what I believe, or what I hold as a value. God, and I've actually prayed this prayer this week. I said, God, give me your eyes for people. And then I pray about other things too. I pray for my family. I pray for specific friends' needs. I pray for my neighbors. And I don't always get to everything every day. Sometimes time constraints are there. Sometimes I just want to spend so much time focusing on one element of prayer. That's okay. It's not a checklist. So read, write, pray, and then remember. So remember could be any number of things. It's great if it could be a verse that you can remember and you just maybe put it someplace throughout the day on a whiteboard, on a Post-it, whatever it may be. Share it with a friend, just a Bible verse that you read that day that you want to remember. Or maybe it's just a thought in your mind. So like for this reading here, perhaps what I want to remember is that Jesus invites me to open up to people that are different than me. So I might just write, I might open my eyes to the people around me, something like that. And I might put on a Post-it note, or I might just put a little marker on my hand, on the back of my hand, so that I remember that every time I look at my hands, whatever it may be, but something that is going to be a little signpost for me for the rest of the day to remember what the Lord has spoken to me that day. So with that, friends, that brings to a close our final Cornerstone Connection together. But I hope that gives you a handle to use for your own Cornerstone, for your own connections with God, whether they're through the Cornerstone Connection or not. But as I go, just want to remind you to seek the Lord daily, to listen for his voice, and then to follow the promptings that he gives you. I've enjoyed this time together. It's been deeply satisfying to me to dig into the word and then to share it together. I invite you to do the same in the years to come. God bless you.